Court is trying to hide its plan to prevent black people from voting and rig elections for Republicans. This is bad, like very, very bad. Last Friday, the Supreme Court dropped a hint towards their plan to destroy fair elections. You probably didn't hear about it, and that's part of the plan, according to Pema Levy and Mother Jones. The court's announcement that it'll pick up Louisiana v. Calais signals they're ready and eager to dismantle the Voting Rights Act of 1965. The monumental legislation was a major turning point for the civil rights movement, guaranteeing equal protection for minority voters and that their districts would fairly and accurately represent their populations. The Voting Rights Act was necessary because previously, white people literally owned black people, so finally giving them access to fair elections was the least we could do. The case in Louisiana was brought forth by a bunch of racist white people who say that the Voting Rights Act is racist against white people, saying that the equal treatment of minority voters is actually discrimination against white voters, partly because of racism, and also because people of color and black people are more likely to vote Democrat. Republicans want to make it so that they have the legal ability to gerrymander the shit out of the country to make it harder for their votes to count as much as white people's votes do. What's happening in Texas is just the beginning. All states will be able to gerrymander elections to serve the political party they favor, and a state that is only 40% white will be majority white controlled. None of what's happening is a coincidence. This is a well thought out, well coordinated, and well researched attack on many, many levels. Project 2025 and the Heritage Foundation, along with other leading conservative figures, have been working on this plan since pre-Reagan, and their plan to capture all levels of government, including the courts, has worked. I usually try to end my videos with some hope, but for this one, I can't find it. This is just scary, and we will fight this together.
Let's talk dates and numbers because it is dizzying and mind-blowing how corrupt this administration is. $1 billion of taxpayer money, your money, not going to Medicaid, not going to SNAP, not going to any service that you or I use. $1 billion is going to be spent to outfit a plane that Donald Trump gets to keep. It is not a plane for the people. It is not for the president or an office holder. It will be Donald Trump's private plane when he leaves office after we pay $1 billion to retrofit it. He already has a private plane. He already has Air Force One. Boeing has already contracted to build another Air Force One. We're also going to spend $200 million to build a ballroom at the White House. The White House is not his house. It is our house, the people's house. There is not congressional appropriation for that spending, but he's doing it anyway. More dates and numbers. Virginia Giuffre left Mar-a-Lago sometime in 99 or 2000. That is not when Epstein ceased being a member at Mar-a-Lago. That was 2007. In 2004, Trump outbid Epstein on a Palm Beach house, paying $40 million. In 2008, 4 years later, he got $95 million from a Russian oligarch, the largest private residential real estate deal in U.S. history. In 4 years, it more than doubled. That never happens. We are witnessing the wholesale destruction and corruption of the United States government through Donald Trump.
Washington, D.C., homicides are down 32%, robberies are down 39%, armed carjackings are down 53%, assaults with a dangerous weapon are down 27%. In Washington, D.C., the rates of burglaries and assaults with a dangerous weapon are at their lowest point in 30 years. Nevertheless, because he's so tough on crime, President Trump today deployed hundreds of National Guardsmen and women into Washington, D.C. Send the U.S. military to become the police force in Washington, D.C. The lead in the Washington Post tonight, quote, President Donald Trump announced today that he is placing the D.C. police under direct federal control and will deploy the National Guard to the streets of Washington, an extraordinary flex of federal power that stripped city leadership of its ability to make law enforcement decisions and could expose residents of the nation's capital to unpredictable encounters with a domestically deployed military force. A domestically deployed military force. Because tough on crime. You think it's really about crime? Maybe you want to pop in to ask Ghislaine at that Bureau of Prisons crown jewel facility that kind of looks like a community college. You want to go ask her? That said, let's be generous here. Maybe it's not really just a generic tough on crime thing. Maybe it's specifically because it's D.C., which is the seat of the U.S. federal government. So even for a city enjoying a 30-year low in violent crime, maybe that's still just an intolerable amount of crime, specifically because it's D.C., and D.C. is where the federal government is, and maybe he's just really sensitive about protecting the federal government. January 6th, no, forget about that. He's just sensitive about it now. Maybe that's it. Well, let's see. Today's Monday. On Friday, this happened. A sustained violent attack on the headquarters of the federal government Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. See all those little pockmarks, those little holes? Those are bullet holes in the CDC. The gunman reportedly tried to get into the CDC headquarters in Atlanta. Security guards turned him away. He then drove to a nearby business, a nearby pharmacy, and took up a shooting position there. The Associated Press reports today that the man fired more than 180 shots into the headquarters of the Centers for Disease Control. More than 180 shots fired. He was found with 5 guns, including 4 long guns, and bullets that he fired at the CDC broke at least 150 windows. The bullets pierced blast-resistant windows in multiple buildings and spat glass shards into multiple offices. 1 police officer was killed. The gunman died as well. It's not clear if he shot himself or was shot by law enforcement. It is a miracle, obviously, that CDC personnel other than the police officer protecting them were not killed. The head of the agency that includes the CDC, Donald Trump's health secretary, Robert F. Kennedy, posted this online after the shooting. Then he posted this one as well. This is what he was posting the day after the shooting at the CDC, when a gunman fired more than 180 bullets into the headquarters of the Centers for Disease Control. This was the reaction of the man in charge of that agency. It wasn't until later, and after he'd finished posting his fishing pictures, that he got around to expressing condolences for the, shooting or whatever. This major attack on a federal government facility, again, 180 shots fired into the CDC. This major attack on a federal government facility has so far garnered no response whatsoever from President Donald Trump, let alone an armed response into Atlanta, where the CDC headquarters is. But he did send in the National Guard to Washington, D.C. today because tough on crime, you think? Maybe it's not about crime. Maybe it's not about defending the federal government from threats, right? Maybe it's not about that. Maybe it's not about crime. Maybe it's not about any other thing he might voice. Maybe it's what you can see with your own 2 eyes. Maybe it's that he really enjoys using U.S. military force against American civilians on American soil and wants any excuse to do it anywhere he can. Watch what they do, not what they say.
In the story we have for you today, the dismissive mockery ascends to a new level as Newsom issues a dire warning to Trump about Texas redistricting and California's response. And Newsom, as we have seen, is not just very smart and very funny, he's pretty tough too.
And I'm sorry to be so clear, but that kind of bloviating is exhausting. So Tom, arrest me. Let's go.
Not only is the bluff-calling governor a free man today, he may well join South Park's writing staff. After you see today's featured tweets and posts, they're just great. It's coming up next, and it's coming on the heels of this.
California Governor Gavin Newsom sent a letter to President Trump urging him to tell Texas leaders to halt their redistricting efforts. He warns that otherwise California will be forced to redraw its own maps to counteract gerrymandering in red states.
In a 3-pronged attack yesterday, Gavin Newsom was busy posting a very serious video, followed by 2 tweets that will drive Trump nuts and will make you smile. First, let's check out the serious part, the video.
Hey, President Trump, it's time to stand down. It's time to make another phone call to Greg Abbott. This time, instead of calling him and telling him you're quote-unquote entitled to 5 congressional seats, it's time to tell him to stand down. It's time to recognize that democracy is at risk. It's time to, dare I say, do the right thing. Actually see how that feels for you, doing the right thing. If you don't, California will neutralize anything you do in the state of Texas. California will continue to punch above its weight. We believe in democracy. We believe in the enduring values of our founding fathers. 249 years. We're not going to sit back passively. We're not going to sit back and watch you light democracy on fire. We will fight fire with fire.
And so he did later in the day. Here, Governor Gavin Newsom brilliantly puts the mock back in democracy. First, the all-caps post at 10:46 a.m. Donald Trump, the lowest polling president in recent history, this is your second-to-last warning. The next one is the last one. Stand down or California will counterstrike legally to destroy your illegal crooked maps in red states. Press conferences coming, hosted by America's favorite governor, Gavin Newsom. Final warning next. You won't like it. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So, no doubt calling himself America's favorite governor, that must have started his troll roll that culminated hours later with this fantastic gauntlet taunt, all in caps. Donald Taco Trump, as many call him, missed the deadline. California will now draw new, more beautiful maps. They will be historic as they will end the Trump presidency. Dems take back the House. Big press conference this week with powerful Dems. And Gavin Newsom, your favorite governor. That will be devastating for MAGA. Thank you for your attention to this matter. GN. So it's unclear if Newsom will actually hold a press conference. Stay tuned. But it can be said for certain that the only love lost between these two is this. And both men are better off for it. Apologies to the good people of Greece.
Gavin Newsom just confirmed it. Donald Trump has missed the deadline to back off redistricting, and California will redraw their maps. In a new tweet from the Gavin Newsom press office account on Twitter, they made sure to write it in a way that Donald Trump and MAGA would understand, saying, quote, Donald Taco Trump, as many call him, missed the deadline. California will now draw new, more beautiful maps. They will be historic as they will end the Trump presidency. Dems take back the House. Big press conference this week with powerful Dems and Gavin Newsom, your favorite governor, that will be devastating for MAGA. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Signed, Gavin Newsom. So I think the all caps and shorter words might be better for MAGA and Donald Trump to understand. Maybe they get the memo here that Gavin Newsom is going ahead. He will redraw California's maps because Texas and other Republican states are trying to cheat. They're trying to rig the 2026 elections in their favor. And Democrats are not going to stand by idly and watch them do it. So there's going to be a press conference this week, and I know that Donald Trump's going to be watching.
I'm sick of it, and I don't want to be on the receiving end of that anymore. I'm sick and tired of being on our heels. Got to be on our toes. It's not about, fighting back. It's about leaning forward, and it's about setting the tone and tenor. I'm sick of this party needs to wake up. These guys aren't screwing around. And I say this not in literal sense, but they're assassins when it comes to the way they weaponize grievance and the way they play politics.
Yeah.
Enough. I mean, what more goddamn evidence do we need? Excuse my language. I mean, they've rolled back the last half century. In real time, that's just 6 months.
Right.
Can you imagine this guy having an additional 42 months with no system of checks and balances, no oversight? I mean, seriously, the hell else more evidence do you need? This is an existential moment. And so Democrats, if we want to have a party, if we want to be functioning, not just as a party, but as a democracy, if we want a system of checks and balances, we believe in the rule of law, if you believe in popular sovereignty, this is not about popular sovereignty. This guy wants to wire. He tried to break this democracy, tried to light it on fire on January 6th. He just made a call to the governor of Texas saying, in this case, not find me the votes, but find me new seats to rig the game. If we want to still be in this game, we need to disabuse ourselves, disenthrall ourselves of the status quo in the past. We have got to enter a new mindset, and we've got to get back on this playing field, and we've got to do it with the kind of vigor that our kids and grandkids deserve, that liberty and freedom deserves this moment. The founding fathers deserve the principles that define the best of Roman Republic and Greek democracy. That's on the line unless we stand the line and stand guard of this democracy, and that means we got to go on offense. No more defense. Go on offense. Fight fire with fire. So you ask me, am I in? I'm all in. You ask me if I'm committed? I'm all in, committed and resolved. And so this is not a bluff. This is a moment to be held to a higher level of accountability.
Quite literally, just a few hours ago, we're referencing that tweet where the Attorney General of the state of Texas talked about locking you up. Maybe illuminate us more of what at least he's asserting, and then give us the facts.
They're asserting bribery, which, as you're pointing out, is incredibly rich. Ken Paxton himself was not just accused of bribery, he was impeached by the Texas legislature, which, as you know, is a Republican majority institution. And then you've got the folks around him. Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, took $6 million from an out-of-state billionaire. And then we've got the president, the briber in chief, who just reduced Ghislaine Maxwell's sentence. Reminder that she is a convicted sex trafficker of children. Of kids. She's now at Camp Fed outside of Bryan, Texas, because presumably she's playing ball to hide Trump's complicity to the degree he was with Jeffrey Epstein. So we have to make sure that we fight, and not just fight back, but take the fight to them. And I've just got to say, on behalf of the folks that I'm working with and listening to across the state of Texas, we are so damned proud of you and grateful to you for taking this fight to them. Not waiting, not reacting, not watch and see, but taking the fight to them.
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.
Alrighty. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Test. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Let's see. I know I got a big delay. There I am with my goofy face. And there I am. I can hear myself. All right. Yeah. All right, everybody. Oh. Anyhow. The show that I was watching just went off the air, apparently. All right, guys. So good morning. It is 9:31 a.m. in the Pacific time zone here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. We are already at 96 degrees. We got a high expected today of 109. So a few degrees cooler than yesterday, and I do see a gradual cooling over the next few days. So before you know it, we're going to be just around 100 degrees, which is not too bad for August. Anyhow, I do see Jeff Hodge, 7272, was first in the chat. Says, and I don't know if I've seen Jeff before. Thanks for being here. If he's still here, I don't know. I think this was several hours ago that he posted this. He said, just wanted to be the first to say good morning and woof, and I believe that is in reference or response to my short video that I posted last night. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's an AI creation of me looking rather foxy, and uncharacteristically smoking a cigarette. Anyhow, we got Sandy Foltz, second, Bob Perez, otherwise known as Robert Perez from down San Diego way. Good to see you, both Sandy and Robert. We got Roxanne. I shortened it to Roxanne 79, if you don't mind. Doing some that's the lyrics to the video. Yeah, I put the I think it was Justin Timberlake's song on there. How they got that pretty little face on that pretty little frame. As you can tell, I'm quite proud of my little productions. I think they're funny, and I might be the only one. I don't know. Big Dog, Damon Dog, the Big Dog's here, says 7 minutes and counting. Good morning, truckers, and saying good morning to everybody. Aaron West is here, and Jolie. So we are at full mod capacity. So thanks, Aaron and Jolie, for being here. I always appreciate your guys' help. You're helping me out here against this motley crew of trucklers. Big Dog says, "Okay, John, put down the Egg McMuffin and start the intro." I haven't. All I had, I didn't have any breakfast. All I had was a packet of those little mini donuts while the thing was running, and I got my coffee. So far, I haven't had any breakfast. I might end up fainting during the show. I don't know. And also, we might get another knock on the door. And we've talked about the knocks on the door and how I think we're all a little shell shocked, which was the precursor. That's what they used to call PTSD. But anyhow, about doors, the knock on the door while I'm doing a live stream. We might get one of those, so prepare yourselves. Last night, after hours, they have these little work order forms at the office by the door there, and so I went and grabbed one and I filled it out and I dropped it off through the mail slot in their door, just to get some stuff done here, because I've got 2 sinks, the kitchen sink and the bathroom sink, that have really, really slow drains, especially the little bathroom sink there, where there's still water that hasn't drained from last night when I brushed my teeth. So I got two of those. Those need to be unclogged. The garbage disposal does not work, and even though I have not I've been very careful not to put anything in there that you normally would if you had a working garbage disposal. And in fact, it has a little, like one of those little strainer stoppers that you put in there. So I always had that in there to try to make sure that a bunch of gunk doesn't get in there, because I knew that the garbage disposal wasn't working. But yeah, garbage disposal doesn't work. So I don't know if they're going to fix that or replace that or whatever. But I want them. I put that down the list. And then the oven, the 2 front burners, which are they're the big ones, because they got 2 little ones in the back and 2 big ones in the front. The 2 big ones in the front don't work, so that's been a pain in the ass not to have the big burner. And also, I got some bugs. Got a few bugs. Mainly a few, not too many, but there's a couple in the kitchen, a few in the bathroom. And I put that down. That I need to get the pest control guy out. So I don't know how long it takes them to respond to those work orders requests that you put in. I don't know if I have no idea if I'll hear from them today or tomorrow or next week. But just so you know, there could be a knock at the door from maintenance, I guess. So good to be, kind of mentally prepared for that. So don't go, oh shit. Anna Moore says, hello, everyone. I guess YouTube is still messing up. Yeah, I apologize about the names. Like I said, there's nothing I can do about it, to my knowledge, anyhow. It's happened before, and it usually just works itself out after a while. The Soulcraft is here, says, taking time while folks are in hospital to clean my drum cave. Oh, okay. Hope everyone's all right and everything. In hospital and stuff. David Weiss over there is from Denver. Hello, David. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us all the way from the beautiful state of Colorado. I love Colorado. One of my favorite states. As a truck driver, driving through it, I always thought that would be a cool place to live. Alton Gillespie says, from Paradise, Texas, howdy bravely, Truckin' John and all the truckers lounge, all in the truckers lounge. Thank you, Alton, for being here. I do appreciate you for coming on in. Sammy Carter from across the pond is here. Hey, Sammy, good to see you too. Sammy Carter. One day, I'm going to go to London town. Sammy and I are going to do a pub crawl. Notice how I just invited myself to do that. I mean, I could do it, but I just automatically Like, come on, Sammy, let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do that pub crawl. Let's see. Skip it on down a little bit here. Big dogs here saying hello. Everyone's being very nice to one another. You're on your best behavior. VD Hertz is here. Hey, VD Hertz, good to see you. Says U.S. economy on cusp of total collapse. I don't doubt it. Certainly on the cusp of. I think we're already in a recession, right? So. And the really sad thing is it's all unnecessary. This is all brought on by Donald Trump and his stupid ass policies, his stupid ass tariffs, mainly, and it's all self-inflicted by Donald Trump, man. And I just hope that when the shit hits the fan, I hope everyone points a finger right there at Donald Trump. None of this is Biden did it or Obama or Clinton or any of that horse shit. No, motherfucker, it's on you, Trump. This is all on you. It is all on you, Donald Trump. VD Hertz says, I still see Tom Homan's ads on YouTube. What the fuck? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is. Oh, Gillespie sent a letter. This is a reference to the on the intro there about Trump, and he assumes DJT can, and we'll read. Sammy Carter says Trump can't bloody read. Right, you bloody well right. Big Dog, Damon Dog, the Big Dog says, hey, VD Hertz, $18 a month to not see commercials. Totally worth it. I have a premium account also, so maybe that's why I don't see those ads. Roxanne79 says, howdy, trucker and loungers. I'm back. We hardly knew you were gone. Big Dog says, I think this is a typo. He said Toxan. I think he meant Roxanne. But that's kind of funny, like, that could be like a funny little thing, Anyhow, how long is Jen staying? VD Hertz says, Big Dog, Google ain't getting my money. It's run by Trump supporting oligarchs. I figured VD would come back with something to that effect, which was fine, but I kind of figured that would be. Sammy Carter says, Roxanne, hi, and how did the birthday go? Hey, Jen up the base is here. Howdy, TJ and Lounge Lizards. Hello, Jen. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Mr. Cook, been cooking your little butt off, it sounds like. But all out of love. A love for your love. So you guys, I'm happy for you guys. Having a good time there. Let's see where we at here. VD Hertz says, latest news says Newsom is facing obstructions from both parties. Look it up. But are those obstructions enough to stop it? To stop it from going forward? Gavin Newsom seems to be very, very confident about it. I would like to think that he's smart enough to have gotten the count, so to speak. He knows where the votes are, and he knows what the outcome is going to look like as far as the House, the state House, or the state legislature. But who knows? Maybe not. VD Hertz says Hochul got her worst poll ever in New York State. Not good. It's all those upstaters, VD. Michelle's here. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. Michelle is completely on board with Gavin. 100% there. Anna Moore says, regarding the intro, what will Donnie do now? Tomorrow is supposed to be the big meeting with Putin, right? Is that still on? Is he, or you know, are they still going to do that? Roxanne says, Sammy Carter, hello, darling. Good to see you. My birthday was awesome. Best one in decades. Jen really is spoiling me in all the best ways. I'm smitten. Wow, look at there. Jen coming in and just sweeping Roxanne right off her feet there. Vidi Hertz says Hochul could have fired Mayor Adams. Why didn't she? That's a good question. Because Adams is corrupt as fuck. You know? So it's a good question. Vidi Hertz says, why didn't Letitia James, AG in New York State, file any charges versus Mayor Adams? Why? Vidi Hertz wants to know. And so do I. What does Mayor Adams have that's, you know, saving his ass? Saving his bacon? Michelle says, I mean, look up China, the advancement of the robots. The robots are coming. The robots are coming. Look out for the robots. I just watched a video last night about, I don't know, 45-minute long video of Ford Motor Company. And it's, I guess, CEO Bill Ford did a lot of the talking. And then they brought on a bunch of people from their in the company about this new plant that they're opening in, I think it was Louisville, Kentucky. I know it's Kentucky. I think it was Louisville, where they are going to be making a brand new EV truck. I guess it's different than the Lightning. And he says it's going to start out at a starting price of $30,000, and it should be available in 2027. Now, I know a lot of things, you know, blowing smoke up our asses or whatever. But, and you know how Sparks, for you sparklers in the crowd, is always saying how all these new things going in, they're going to be just like giant vending machines or whatever, because they're going to be all operated by AI robots. Well, Bill Ford himself, came out there and is saying that this plant in Kentucky is going to employ 2,200 auto workers, and for the foreseeable future. And it's not like, oh, on day one, 2,200, and then like, you know, a week later they fire them all and replace them with robots. No, this was like a long-term thing that he was, you know, promoting. This whole thing was, you know, a big promotion of the opening of this new factory and this new EV truck that's going to start out at 30 grand. So it all sounded pretty promising to me, and I like the fact that it's employing 2,200 auto workers, even though they have an all-new state-of-the-art assembly line where they, instead of having just one straight line, they have it like a tree. They had diagrams and things and like that, things of this nature. And not only that, so in Kentucky they've got the 2,200. And then I think back maybe in Michigan or something, they have another plant. I think, I don't know if that was going to be their battery plant or whatever, but that was going to be hiring another, you know, some thousands of employees. And Ford's, and one of the big things about Ford is like, this is going to be pretty much 100% made in the USA. Ford's going to be making their own batteries, all USA made batteries. I don't know. I just watched the video last night. I thought it was really cool. I was kind of bummed out. I kept waiting for them to reveal this. I thought maybe they would have a pre-production or a mock-up or whatever of this truck, and they didn't really show anything. And I think they have one, because they did show a video of a group of Ford, I guess these were auto workers that walked in, and they were just getting their reactions, and they were going, "Oh, this is beautiful, this is awesome," but they never did show the truck. So hopefully there'll be a video coming out shortly about this new truck that Ford's making, and completely 100% electric truck that I think is different than the 150 Lightning. It's a whole new platform, I think. But it was encouraging. Brand new plants, 2,200 employees, making all the batteries here in America. You know, say what you will about Ford, but that was a good video, I thought. VD Hertz might disagree with me, which is fine. I know VD Hertz is very outspoken and opinionated, but also very knowledgeable, and I do respect that. MJ Daniel, good morning from the free state of Washington. Yeah, that's MJ Daniel from up there in Washington State. Anna Moore says, let's remember that Stephen Miller is running the show. United We Stand. Stephen Miller, the self-hating Jew, the self-hating he's a Nazi Jew, which is weird. I think that's weird. Michelle says camp fed on furlough. I think that was a reference to who I like to I like to call her Jizzface Maxwell. Good old Jizzface. Has a really sweetheart deal, doesn't she? She's got a deal very similar to what they gave Epstein when he got busted in Florida for, I don't know I forget what the exact charge was or what he got exactly convicted of, but it was definitely about inappropriate actions with underage girls. And I don't know exactly what they got him on, because it seems like if it was actually like a statutory rape thing, you would think he would have gotten like 20 years in prison or something. But so I don't know what it was, but basically, he got just this little jailhouse thing where they gave him the key to go in and out, and he could go in and out as he pleased. All he had to do was I think check in there and sleep there for a few hours, and then he was out back roaming and preying on girls, And now Roxanne, I'm sorry. I think I was solved your name. No, Jizzface Maxwell has a very similar deal. I mean, she's been taken out of a regular maximum security or high security facility, moved into a minimum security. In order to do that, she had someone from high up, probably Trump himself, that was changed her status, of being I guess what do you call it? Was it sexual predator or whatever? Got her into this minimum security place that apparently you can just kind of come and go as you please. She's on a work, or maybe not as you please, but very easy to come and go. She's got some sort of work release program, which I didn't even know she had a job, but I guess someone got her a job. And very cushy, little sweetheart deal they gave her. It's all pretty disgusting. And supposedly, this is from the party that is so tough on crime and supposedly hates pedophiles, and key word being supposedly. Hey, Roger Dodger's here. Hey, good to see you, Roger Dodger. This is good opening montage. Thank you, Roger Dodger. Roger Dodger. Mr. Spock is here. Hey, live long and prosper. I'm trying to do it, so I've tried so hard to do that. Hope your chickens are okay. Hope you haven't choked any. If you know what I mean. Roxanne sings intro song. I was singing too, actually. MJ Daniel, another perfect day in the U.S. of North Korea. All praise dear leader. Josh is here, lurking and listening. Hey, Josh, good to see you. Hope you're okay and everything else. VD Hertz, Brett breaks things. Randy Rhodes keeps crashing. That's what if you saw me earlier and I kind of turned my head, because I had that playing on my TV, and then all of a sudden it went off, and that's when I was like, and then I didn't say anything because I thought, well, I don't need to say anything. But yeah, so that's what happened. I wasn't sure. I thought maybe he just ended the show because he only had 8 viewers. You know, Randy Rhodes would be on and she would have, like, what would she get, like 1,500 or 2,000 or whatever. And poor old Brett, he's only getting 8. Now we got 38 beautiful people watching, and we got 41 thumbs up. So thank you guys so much. Like the good Democrats we are operating at a surplus. So thank you so much. We are 350 subscribers, which is awesome. Because just earlier in the week, I was bitching and complaining about how being stuck at around 3910. So we've gotten like 40 new subscribers in the last few days. So thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys so much for all the subs. There you go. Thank you guys very much, so much. I do appreciate you for all the subs. But let's not stop there. You know what happens at 4,000? At 4,000, I will go pluck a dandelion out of some place wherever. I'm hoping I can find one here in Nevada somewhere, and I'm going to eat it. That was the deal. That's what we came up with. So if you want to see me eat a dandelion live on live stream, we need to get about 50 more subscribers. But if we continue at the rate that we just did, then that would only be maybe another week or so. Maybe. I don't know. Elizabeth Fernandez is here. Hey, Liz, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in to the old driver's lounge. Old Moms is here. Hey, Old Moms. Good to see you. Not sure if I've seen you in here before. At least under that name. But the little icon looks familiar with the cat. So I probably have seen you before. But I do appreciate you being here. Thanks for coming on in. Big Dog, I like your AI shorts. Very groovy. Thanks. Glad you enjoy those. Damon Dog, the Big Dog. I'm pretty surprised that they do get a pretty good viewership, most of those. Sammy Carter, Slava Ukraini, absolutely. Slava Ukraini all the way. I hope and pray to God that Trump doesn't do anything stupid. I mean, God, that was a stupid thing to say. Of course he does things stupid, but you know what I mean. I hope he doesn't do anything that's gonna like totally fuck over Ukraine. He's already fucking them over, but you know what I mean. I just hope it doesn't do anything worse, I guess. Michelle says we had a wicked lightning storm lightning storm last night. You are funny, John. Okay, well, thank you. I guess I don't know how those two things are related, but Roxanne, motley crew of trucklers, you motley crew, you motley bunch. I got to have Jolie and Aaron in here to keep you guys reined in. Captain Ivans, 6108's here. Good afternoon, Trucker John. Captain Ivan from Brooklyn. From Brooklyn, we got another Brooklyn. Speaking of Brooklyn, where's Brooklyn? Anyhow, hey, Captain Ivans, good to see you. What, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Thanks for being here, Captain Ivans. I agree. I appreciate you. Forget about it. What, are you kidding me? Exhausted Liberals here. Hey, Exhausted Liberal, good to see you. Good morning to you. Mr. Bob Newell, I can't hear you. Hey, Mr. Bob Newell, good to see you also. With your canned responses, and that makes me think you might be a bot, but I don't care. You're a good bot. You're a good bot. Hey, we got Bob LeBlanc, who I think we know Bob LeBlanc as another name usually. But anyhow, Bob LeBlanc says, how can this be allowed live on YouTube? Hi, y'all. Gotta eat something except pills. Keep on knocking on. I don't know. How do they allow this? I don't know. Anymore, oh no, not another knock on the door. My heart. I know. I just was trying to prepare you and give you some, a heads up on that. Like I said, I don't know what the turnaround rate is on those work requests that you put in, but work order things. Mr. Bob Newell, have you been to Detroit? I think I've been pretty close to it. I don't think I've never been actually in the city proper. I think I've driven pretty close to it on one of the expressways there or whatever. Bob LeBlanc, the slow drain. Take it easy. Take it easy. Yeah, I got a slow drain. So slow, in fact, that it's not draining. I guess that's also known as a stop. Well, the one in the kitchen is a slow drain. The one in the bathroom has been a slow drain, but now I think it's completely stopped up because there's still about a couple inches of water just sitting there. MJ Daniels says someone's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell. Mr. Bob Newell, how's the coffee? Not bad. I like that coffee I bought. I think I might buy that from now on. It's like Don Francisco's or something. Mad Mac is here. Hey, Slava, Ukrainian Mad Mac. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Coming on in. Thanks for coming on in. Jet Up the Base says, MJ Daniel, can you do me a favor and open the door and let him in? Paul McCartney is playing at Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas, I believe October 1st, or maybe there might be several dates, which is right around my birthday, which is on the 3rd. And I was thinking maybe I could have enough money to splurge and buy myself a little birthday present and go see me some Paul McCartney. You know? I mean, he doesn't sing as well as he used to, I don't think. I think I've seen some videos of him, and he's not as good as he used to be. But who is that 80 years old? You know? I still would like to see him because I've never seen him. I've never seen any of those guys live. And now 2 of them are dead. Just talking about the Beatles, of course. Roxanne79 says burners are on the stove above the oven. Just for your information, I'm sure that's what you meant. Yeah, I know. What did I say? I said the front burners. By front burners, I mean the ones that are in the front. There's like 2 in the back and 2 in the front. The front burners are not working. Adam Moore says, sounds like they need to replace the pipes in the sink and install a new garbage disposal. Yeah, or at least clean the drain. You know, clean out the drain pipe. You know, the little what do you call it? The curve thing, the trap. And the garbage disposal, either those things are relatively cheap. They're $50 or whatever. Fucking replace it. But yeah, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. I don't think you need to replace the pipes. I think they just need to clean out the little traps. I think is what's called. Boy, everyone's just going on with the lyrics for that song. Is it called "Let 'Em In" or whatever? Oh, Roxanne, no, or Mad Mac, or someone was doing. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. That's a different song. Yeah, I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. That's a good song too. Is that what's his face? What was that guy's name? Who did that song? That was a good song. I hear you knocking, or is that? But you can't. Oh, and it's kind of like a sound filter, right? On the vocal. I hear you knocking. I can't remember who that was. I think it was a group. It wasn't an individual. Anyhow, I digress. Mr. Spock. I'm Mr. Spock. In case my change name confuses anybody. Okay. I think we know. I think we know. It's a green thing, says Bob LeBlanc. I don't know what that means. Roxanne 79 says, Mr. Spock, howdy, good to see you. Didn't recognize you with the underscore. Mr. Bob Newell, do you like the word discombobulated? I do like that word, actually. Aaron West, I went to the dentist this morning. Don't neglect your teeth and gums, y'all. Yeah, don't do that. Michelle says, Mr. Spock, do you think Trump will give Alaska to Putin? He can try all he wants. He can't just give it to him. So, Mad Mac, take me to your leader. Sammy Carter says, TJ, did you see Hunter Biden's response to Melania's court threat? He said, fuck you. I did not see that, but good for him. And he probably said, bring it, bitch. Bring it. Everyone knows. There's all kinds of photos servicing of her on the plane and all that shit. So, you know Melania, she's just a money-grubbing little whore. That's all she is. Mr. Bob Newell, do you like the band Amboy Dukes? Not if Ted Nugent is in it. If Ted Nugent, in which he was, I think. So, no. Answer no. Mr. Bob Newell, I'm not thinking of a number. Okay. Roxanne, you better not start calling me Toxan. I know, that's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. You know what I mean? MJ Daniels says, the people behind DJT Heritage and that ilk are trying the same thing from the first Republican depression and how Mitt Romney made his money, destroy it all, and profit from the ashes. Yeah, he's a vulture capitalist. Thank you, Rick Perry, for that. Sandy Foltz is going to the eye doctor soon. Well, I hope everything goes well with your appointments. Mr. Bob Newell, Kamala 2028. We'll see. We're not there yet. I want to concentrate on 2026, actually, if you don't mind. Hey, Teresa TAK is here. Hello back at you. I see you said hello to me, so hello to you, and welcome to the Driver's Lounge. Hope you will come in and stay a while, kick your feet up, all that kind of good stuff, you know. Just kind of hang out. Just have a good hang. We're gonna have a good hang today. Mr. Spock says, I think it's a prelude to Invade Canada, Michelle. The pieces in the third chessboard are unpredictable. The meeting will tell a lot. I don't even know if they're going to have the meeting. MJ Daniel says, look at how many billionaires have been getting rid of stock and protecting themselves. They see what is coming if this is allowed to continue. Jolie says, you should put in a complaint to YouTube about the names of Trucker John 3. From what I've read, it's something they're thinking about making permanent, so they're trying it out on different channels. All right, yeah, I'll try to see if I can shoot them a letter, a note, if you will. Bob Newell says, arrest Putin when he lands in Alaska. Well, if Joe Biden or Kamala Harris were president, that might be what would happen. I don't think you're going to see that with old, Putin's puppet there. Roger Dodger says, when people here cite polling numbers, they need to name the source of that poll. There are many fake polls, especially now, funded by dark sources. Has anyone been citing poll numbers here lately? I don't know. But that's a good, I guess that's a good, for the future, that's a good thing to make sure you cite your source so we can figure it out if that's a good source or not. Reliable and all that good stuff. Sandy Foltz says, I just got my lunch from Meals on Wheels. Awesome. See, that's a great program, right? And it's the Republican Party that would love nothing more than to do away with programs like that, like Meals on Wheels. Sammy Carter says, we all know Trump is batshit crazy. He will give Putin Alaska, but he doesn't have the power. He does not have the power to just hand over a state to anyone. He does not have that power. I'm sorry, guys. He doesn't have the power. Robert Perez says, Trucker John and all Democratic voters who had the fortitude to vote in 2024 for normalcy, have a great Frankenstein Day. Today's Frankenstein Day? I didn't know. Why is it Frankenstein Day today? Is that a real thing, or is this just a joke? Because if it is Frankenstein Day, then I'm going to try to make an AI video about it. You know, maybe. Mr. Bob Newell, do you like a hearty turkey dinner with stuffing and cranberry jelly? Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? Big Dog is heading to the grow room to mix nutrients. I love chemistry. Mr. Bob Newell, will Bill Ford offer dental benefits to the Kentucky workers? Well, they're all UAW. It's probably in their benefits package. They probably have a good dental plan. Yeah, I believe they're all. Yeah, it's all union. They had union reps there on that video. MJ Daniel says the Biden administration created all sorts of good jobs that should have been on TV every single day bragging on it, yet they were silent. I don't know if they were silent, but I do agree with the point. Like, Biden and Democrats in general just don't like pat themselves on the back enough or promote these things. And that was one of my complaints, because I was thinking, like last year or during the Biden administration, it is like, did they not learn? If there's one thing you can learn about Trump, is he take credit for everything, and he will say it more than once, right? And he will go to rallies or have press conferences, and he says the same shit almost every day, but that's what you got to do to get the message, to pound the message into the masses. And that's what Trump does. And that's what he's really good at. If it's one thing he's good at, it's that. And if it's one thing that Biden or Democrats in general are bad at, it's that. They need to learn how to fucking pound home the message. Pound it home, man. Pound it home. I think I just made up a phrase. Pound it home, man. Pound it home, like I'm doing right now. I'm pounding home the term "pound it home." All right, so that, yeah, someone will say, Kamala Harris wasn't good on messaging, and then I might say, well, she did say that she was going to do this big first time buyer home program and blah blah blah, la di da di da, and which is true. But I mean, there are certain things they should have just been pounding it home. All the things that she was going to do, I don't think they pounded it home good enough. So I agree, MJ, that Democrats do a lot of good shit, but nobody knows what they did. Because why? They don't pound it home. You got to pound that shit home, man. If there's anything we learned from today's show, it's that if you want to get your message across to the masses about all the good and beneficial things you're doing for them, you got to pound it home. What do you got to do? Pound it home. Anyhow, enough of that. Vinny Hurt says Ford needs to make better vehicles. They don't do well in comparisons. That's true. I mean, yeah, I'm all for them making better vehicles, but I do think over the years, I mean, they have had the number one selling pickup trucks. They seem to do good with their pickup trucks. People seem to love Mustangs, and Mustangs seem to do pretty well. I think in customer satisfaction, and not only in sales, but in customers, and all that good stuff. So it seems like certain vehicles they do really well on, and then other ones, and it might just be because they do make a lot of cars, and well, I don't know. You know the numbers better than I do, I'm sure, VD Hertz. as far as customer satisfaction and how it does compare with, the Japanese or the Europeans or whatever, the vehicles. I'm sure you know the numbers way better than me. So I'm not going to really argue that. I mean, I argue with you on it. Yeah, Ford, there's always room for improvement. Always room for improvement. And I hope this new car that they come out, this new truck, is a really good one. And I hope that they do stick to that price that Bill Ford said they're going to have a starting model at $30,000. Because I remember Elon Musk saying the same thing about the Cybertruck, for crying out loud. And the Cybertrucks, what he was saying, there was going to be a 30,000 or something in the 30s with this Cybertruck. This is like years ago. And when the Cybertruck finally came out, they were over $100,000. Well, not even close to what he said. But we all know Elon Musk is a dipshit, so not to be trusted. But anyhow, Roxanne says Mustang is a solid Ford vehicle. Yeah, I agree. I think pretty solid. VD Hertz says Ford problems isn't labor; it's lousy engineers, managers. Well, hopefully, hopefully they're getting better. Hopefully they're improving. VD Hertz, but Ford Mustang Coupe doesn't sell as well as EV Mustang Mach-E. I took an Uber the other night in a Mach-E, and I've taken an Uber I think 2 or 3 times in the Mach-E, and I really like it. Actually, I think it's better. I think it's way better than the Tesla Model 3 or the Model Y, which is what it you would compare that to the Model Y, I guess. And I think it drives. I mean, I didn't drive it; I was in the back seat, but it had a really nice, smooth ride. It was very comfortable. It was a very quiet ride. Way quieter than those Teslas. Some of those Teslas are noisy, and I know over the years they've added things to make it more quiet with better windows, I guess, and whatever they do, better different tires and stuff. But I think the Mach-E is really a solid car. I mean, if I had the money and or the credit to get one, I would get one. I think I would get one. Mr. Bob Newell, I drove a 68 Cougar last night, really. And that could be boom boom. That could be taken a number of ways, I think. Now that I look at that a little closer. Roxanne says, laughing out, G has got me mixed up with Jizz Face. What they have is going on today. Toxan and Jizz Face. Dang y'all. For fuck's sake. Well, that means that you're on everyone's mind, I guess. Vinny Hertz says 68 Cougar GT won Motor Trend Car of the Year. I remember those Cougars. They were fucking nice little cars, man. Those were nice little cars. It was basically, I guess, the Mercury version of a Mustang in a way, right? Vinny Hertz says that was when unions were strong, auto unions, 1960s. And that 68 Cougar. Mr. Abdul, can you do Trump? No, I can't. I not very good. But of course, everyone thinks they can do Trump. But I don't know. Peter Hurt says Brett crashed twice today. He has a lot more viewers than 8 with not crashing. Okay, all right, Peter. But I'm sure his numbers are way lower than Randy's were. Right? Because every time I've got on there, it's like 30 or 40. He does about the same numbers I do, probably. And I don't have a Randy Rhodes connection. Just saying. Roxanne says, Christine Weibel, ooh, nothing, darling, just razzing TJ, a big dog, for their typos and mix-ups around my name today. Toxin! No, I'm just kidding. I kind of like that, though, Toxin. But well, anyhow, I'll stop here. Big Dog says, lots of dandelions at the ballpark. Pro tip, wash them first. At the bark park. See, I totally messed up your little joke there. Should we start over? Back it up. This from Big Dog, Damon Dog the Big Dog, says, lots of dandelions at the bark park. Pro tip, wash them first. Cue applause. Anyhow. Michelle says, VD, a man could provide for his family in 1960, in my opinion. Yeah, you could be a lot of times one-income families in those days. That started going away in huge numbers, in the 80s during the Reagan and H.W. Bush era. We really started seeing all that go away with demonization of unions, fewer union jobs, wages, jobs being stagnant, wages being stagnant. More and more people had to have two-income family. Thanks, Ronald Reagan and Republicans. Thank you so much. Anna Moore says, are they setting up Just Face Maxwell to die? She couldn't possibly exclude Trump from the Epstein files. There is too much video evidence on file that proves otherwise. Yeah, maybe, all this, putting her in this minimum security place, and she's out doing work release, it exposes her to something like that could be, not too good for her. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. It's a good question. Says, the base, Trucker John, seems like the recruiting effort is working. I know. I would love to give you credit for that, guys. I see the analytics, and I know where they're coming from. But anyhow. But but I do appreciate your guys' efforts. He says, let's fucking go. The next 1,000 subs will come quickly as it's paved with fungus to all the way to LV. 70 Carter says, went down to Downing Street to cheer Zelensky when he arrived this morning. Good crowd. Awesome, Sammy. Good on you. Good on you. I hope you gave a cheer out for me. I mean, not for me, but to Zelensky for me. Is what I meant. Sandy folks, Trixie LaRue. Where's Trixie LaRue? Brooklyn Trixie LaRue, aka Trixie. Where? Did I piss her off too? I don't know. I think she's been busy doing stuff. I think she's been really busy doing stuff. Hopefully that's it. Hopefully she's just busy. Hope she's all right. Right. Jen at the base says, VD hurts. Hey, VD, my uncle's initials are VD. He always had a ball letting people know that. Good to see, as always, VD. MJ Daniel, Slow Drain. Isn't that a Pointer's Sister song? Slow Drain. Mr. Bob Newell, use a toilet plunger to clear a clogged pipe. I have done that. I had to do that in my last apartment, not the one before Single Suites, when I was at University Gardens. I did that to clear the bath because I had a bathtub in the shower. I had a shower in the bathtub thing, and I used the plunger because that one had a slow drain and it was all clogged up. So I used the plunger for that, and that pushed that. There was probably a giant hairball in there or something, and I was able to push that through, and that did work really good. But the thing is, one of the things that I think I left at that place I forgot to bring was the fucking plunger. And I haven't, so now I gotta go buy a new one. But if I had one, I would use that. Yeah. I would try it. I would give it a shot. I'd give it a shot. Dave Edmonds, there you go, VD Hertz. Is that who that was? I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. And I believe there's a like a sound. I think what the kids used to call a sound filter on his mic or something, or distortion or whatever they call it. Mr. Fox says, I'd pay 30 pieces of silver to see Jesus playing Freebird for 12 hours. Really? 12 hours? I mean, that's a bit excessive. I mean, why 12 hours? That's kind of crazy. I mean, I guess if I were younger, maybe, but at my age, doing anything for 12 hours other than trying to sleep, I don't know. User, still don't have my name back. Yeah, William. That's William, by the way. Nope, I don't know what's going on. Jolie was saying that YouTube is thinking about making it permanent or something, and I should try to send them a note telling them that no one likes that. No one likes it. Sammy Carter, Dave Edmonds, 71. I hear you knocking. Man, I'm really behind in the chat because that talking about that Dave Edmonds song was like a half hour ago. Am I a half hour behind? Am I a half hour behind? Where's Nick Rich with my time stamps or whatever? BFL Tunes is here. I'm not sure if we know BFL Tunes by another name, but thanks for being here, BFL Tunes. And we're just asking about Dave Edmonds, if Dave Edmonds is still alive. I really have no idea. The base. Okay, I'm back. I'm sure everyone was concerned why I was away for 38 seconds. Yeah, we were like, where'd Jim go? Where'd he go? Oh my God. Dan B from Florida. Not Miami, but more near the Tampa Bay area, but a Dolphins fan nevertheless, is here. Good to see you, Dan B. Jeff Hodge. Hey, there's Jeff. First in the chat today. And now I'm back. Hey, Jeff Hodge. Good to see you. Jeff Hodge, 7272 is here. Big Dog says maybe when Sandy Foltz goes to the eye doctor, she'll be able to see my posts again. Jeff Hodge, woof woof. Woof woof. Back at you, I guess. I don't know. Toxan79 says, I was wondering why you weren't going anywhere. Bob LeBlanc says, do the clothes come off the shower? Wait, do the clothes come off and shower? Come on. Oh, come on when there's a knock on your door. Come on. I guess that's a song. Is that from the same song? Of the Dave Edmonds song? I'm not that familiar with the lyrics. So... Jeff Hodge, did you get my early AM greeting? I did. I mentioned you right off the bat that you were first in the chat, and you said woof, and I was thinking that that must be in reference to my short video I made of me looking absolutely gorgeous in my AI generated kind of drag look or whatever. I don't know. Did I assume right? I don't know. Just know that was AI generated. That wasn't really me in a wig and I guess makeup or whatever. Yeah, very pretty good makeup actually. VD Hertz says stock market has yet to reflect any downturn in the USA economy, and all indexes are basically at their highs. I did notice that the other day. They were at near record highs. It was a few days ago, I think I saw that. Exhausted Liberals here says, when was the last time Putin was in the U.S. and why? That's a good question. I think it's been a decade. Was it with Obama? Was that when Obama kind of gave him the death stare or whatever? Kind of stared him down like the man that he is. WW, hey Trucks, just my notifications don't seem to be working. I don't want to hear about your notifications. That's an excuse, a sorry ass excuse. You should know the time and the place. Anyhow, WW, thanks for being here. Thanks for finally fucking getting here. Everyone was wondering. You know. Vita here says Putin went on a boat with Bush family in Maine. They should have pushed him over. MJ Daniel, Everly Brothers. Here he comes. That's Vladdy's clown. Yeah, that. What's the song? Yeah. WW. My parents used to deliver Meals on Wheels. What do you do? Like watch what happened 30 minutes ago and then comment on it? Make everything more confusing? No, I'm just kidding. Dan B says, well, he might not have the power, but that doesn't mean he wouldn't try to do it. Oh, yeah. He could try all he wants. But, although, you know, who knows how much the Republicans would capitulate to him. You know, exhausted liberals. So Obama let Putin in the U.S. after crime stuff. No, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I just remember. I thought remember seeing a picture of Obama kind of staring down Putin, but that might have been in Europe or something. WW says, have you seen the Frankenstein bunnies? They have mineral growths like horns growing out of their necks. I have not. Aaron West says it's also DOS Day. DOS launched on August 14th, 1985. MJ Daniel, I'll be sure to play some Edgar Winter. Oh, for Frankenstein. Yeah, that's a great song. I like that. I remember as a kid, I liked that song. Joey says Frankenstein Day is August 30th, which is Mary Shelley's birthday. Okay, so let's save all our Frankenstein things for August 30th. Robert Perez says, sorry, John, Frankenstein was a typo, but now that you mention it, there is a monster in the White House. Dan B says, also, other than pounding home the message, they need to talk and say how it is. Stop being politically correct. Yeah, okay, I get you. Yeah, stop beating around the bush. No more of this pussyfooting around, or whatever. Beatty Hirsch says, giving first-time home buyers government subsidies does nothing to lower home prices. But you know what helps keep home prices a little more in check? Is not throwing out across-the-board tariffs on all the materials, and which Kamala Harris would not have done. Jeff Hodge says Dems don't crave the attention Republicans do. Republicans. MJ Daniel, DNC dropped the ball. They need to learn to communicate their message on social media and normal media better. And I would say they need to look no further than, say, someone like an AOC, who I think does great, social media things. And they need someone like me who's very articulate in these matters. Big Dog says Kamala did an amazing job with the short time she had. Plus, I still believe she won. Anna says, let's not forget that during the Biden administration, corporate media was biased towards the right. They never gave Biden credit, but they could never deny those great employment numbers. Yeah, that's a part of it too. They never would give Biden or his administration credit for anything, and they would kind of gloss over it. But God forbid he might, stumble on a word or something, and then they put that on a loop, The point is, VD Hertzke says, in fact, giving first-time buyers government subsidy, that was just something I just pulled out. I'm just trying to think of something that she was saying at her rallies, and maybe I didn't even word it right. But the fact of the matter is, the Democrats have, I think, the better platform positions. The political ideology is more in line with most Americans, American working class people, but they don't seem to get that message out. That was what I was trying to go for, and I just pulled that one example out. I think my chair is falling apart. So don't get hung up on that poor example that I probably made. The point is that they have policy positions, and that I think are more in line with what most Americans want, and yet a great deal of Americans don't even know it because they're not good at pounding it home, man. Everyone's Trucker John quote: "You got to pound that shit home." That should be on a coffee mug, and I'm going to order that chair today because this chair is sinking down. This chair that I'm in now, I am going to order that chair today. I keep forgetting to do it. Today's the day, folks. Today is the day. This one is not long for the world, I believe. For this world. Yeah, Big Dog, add that to the list of TJ Gems. Yeah, I think Jolie has a list going. Put that on the list. That will have to be on a T-shirt and a coffee mug at some point. Once I get my shit together and get my store merch thing going better. Jen at the base, Trucker John. So if I'm hearing you correctly, should we be pounding it home? Yeah, I think so. Pound it home, man. Big Dog says, I might get a Ford electric truck if they're less than $40K. Well, Bill Ford, there's a video right on YouTube. You can search it. I don't remember the title of it, but he said they expect these trucks to be rolling off the assembly line in 2027, and they're going to offer a starting price of $30,000. So that'd be nice. VD Hirsch says Chevy Silverado EV is 10 times better than Ford Lightning EV. It's also about 10 times the price. It's not 10 times the price, but those Chevy Silverado EVs, I've seen them at 100 and 105, 110,000. So for the price, I mean, and I've only seen YouTube videos. I've never driven in either one of those, the Silverado or the Lightning. But I mean, you could still get those Lightnings if you could find them. I don't know if they're even making them anymore, but I think you could still get a nicely situated one or whatever for in the 40s. I think 40, 45, or and then on up. The Silverados, I've never, just from what I've been seeing on YouTube videos, I don't think I've ever seen one for under 100K. So I would hope if you're paying twice as much, at least for that vehicle, I would hope it's better. I would hope so. Whether it's 10 times or better, I don't know. That's kind of subjective. But the Silverado, they put a huge fucking battery in there, and that motherfucker, from all the videos I've seen, is getting like 460 miles of range, which I think is great. If I was rich and had an extra 100 grand to spend, I would buy one. But I'm not rich, and I don't have an extra 100 grand to spend. WW in teaching, they say that you need to tell the point of your lesson at least 7 times during the course of it. And so these Democrats, that they should employ that strategy, I believe. Blah, blah, blah. Protesters' bodies adorn Teslas. Not sure what that even means. Big Dog says, I've had 2 Mustangs, a 69 Mach 1 and a 76 Ghia. The 69 Mustang, the Mach 1, cool. The Ghia, I'm not even sure what a Ghia is, but is it one of those Fox bodies or whatever? When they were the little like 4-cylinder, well, they did have a cylinder too, I think. Anyhow, whatever. BD Hertz would know. BD Hertz says Dodge Challenger Charger is out now with twin turbo Hurricane inline 6 and EV Model 2. I saw a video. I've seen that video too, or videos. I think they look beautiful. I think that new Dodge Charger EV and the gas powered one, I think look absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I love the look of those cars, whether the gas or the EV. They've got 2-door model, 4-door model. I think they look fucking awesome. I love the look of them. I've never driven one. I would like to drive one. WWS Plaid is eerily quiet. Well, the Model S is, an expensive model, and they put a lot of, I think, a more quality materials into it, so it was quieter. The Model 3 is their really cheap model, and those things were really loud. But so much to the point that people were complaining about it, that they did do some sound dampening fixes to it a little bit. But WW says, I always thought that if I got rich, I'd buy one for my dad. VD Hertz Camry hybrid, good safe bet. I'm all for hybrids too. If you're not ready to go to EV, a good hybrid is. I think Priuses are great. Lots of good choices there. WW says dandelions at ballparks. Ballparks are almost definitely toxic. Jolie says Thunderbirds were very popular in my family for a while. WW, my mom had one she adored, and my great aunt had a limited edition one. I remember I remember one time way back way back early 90s is when I was married to my first wife. We went to Florida we went to Disney World, and then we rented a car. I rented a car when we were there because we went over to Cape Canaveral, Cape Canaveral or whatever it's called, and we drove around a little bit. And I remember I rented a Ford Thunderbird way back then. This is like 1990 or whatever. And I just remember I really liked that car. I thought it drove really nice. It was a nice, comfortable car. I think it was a V8, or it had a big V8 in it. I think. Well, it was a rental. I'm not sure if that was a 6-cylinder. If they had, I guess I'm assuming they had a 6-cylinder, but I really don't remember what the power plant was. But I just remember it was a nice, really nice car, and I was like thinking, man, I'd like to buy one of these. I never did, but yeah. MJ Daniels says Tom Hartman talks about his father putting 3 kids through college and paying off his home on the wages from working in a machine shop. Thank you, GOP. Yeah, well, thank you, union. Thank you, unions, for that, for sure. But I know that was like a little, ironic twist there at the end there. Roger Daughter says VD has a lot of opinions on cars he seemingly doesn't own. Silverado better than Lightning. Do you own either? 10 times better. That is not even a thing. If you own either, let us know specifics. I do know that VD Hertz is very knowledgeable in about auto industry things. The 10 times better, I think that is pretty subjective. But like I said, for being like twice the price, I would hope that it's at least twice as good. WW, laughing out loud, Roxanne. Used to be a favorite topic in here when John was driving Teslas. That's sort of a mid-thread thing. I'm not sure what that was about. VD Hertz says, I know Silverado EV has longer range, better features as a pickup. Yeah, well, like I said, it should. It's a $100,000 truck, and the Lightning is like a $50,000 truck. So yeah, that you would think that Silverado would have a lot better features and better range and all that stuff. VD Hertz 10 times better makes total sense. I have no problem with that. With you saying that, I just think I see that as being a very subjective analysis there, but and that's fine. I have no problem with that. John Glad to see John Glad. You are 2 hours early again. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I come on at 9 a.m. I know, and I don't think I updated that in my info on my page, by the way, if that's what you're going by. Because I did try to do just 11s across the board. After doing Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. for several years, then I went away from that for about a 2-week period where I was trying to do 11 o'clock, and then I decided to go back to 9 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I know I I do stuff that's confusing. But so just remember, Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you're a sparkler, Drunk Lad, I'm not sure if you are, but if you watch House Sparks, and you're used to seeing House Sparks at 9 a.m. Pacific time, just remember on Tuesdays and Thursdays, instead of House Sparks, it would be me, Trucker John. Anyhow, VD Hertz says Ford has the highest warranty recall claims. That's why its stock sits at $11 deadwood for decades. Well, hopefully they'll improve. I have hope. I'm gonna be hopeful that Ford will improve their whatever they need to improve. Roger Dodger and VD Hertz kind of getting into it a little bit there. Just keep it civil. You guys are entitled. Everyone's entitled to their opinions and point of views and everything like that. So don't be like me and be a dick. Sometimes I can be a real dick. I'm not saying you guys are being dicks. I'm just saying don't be like me. BFL Toon says just call me Mark Lungo. There's Mark. Oh yeah, that's Mark. Hey, I thought you were someone else. Yeah, I don't know why YouTube is doing this, and no one likes it. I will try to shoot them a note, Jolie. I'm going to try to figure out a way to do that. Marsha's here. Hey, Marsha, good to see you. Says, hello, Trucker John. I was only able to drop a like yesterday. Can only stay for a little while. Talk therapy soon. Hey, Marsha, good for seeing you. You're probably gone. I think I'm a half hour behind, so you're probably already taken off. But thanks for being here. Thanks for coming in and saying hi real quick. VD Hertz says, is WW using screen names and two screen names? Probably. He has a few. So there's WW. Freebird is the rock and roll version of Pactual Balls Cannon. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what this thing about Jesus playing Freebird for 12 hours. Is that something that's... I don't even know. I thought you guys just made it up, so I don't know. Jeff Hodge says, wolf is just a bear's greeting to another bear. Oh, like Smokey Bear? Like a Smokey Bear? If you saw Smokey Bear, would you go, woof? I'm just messing with you, Jeff Hodge. Just messing around. Aaron West says, Putin came during Trump's first term. Remember the closed-door meetings? Oh, was that here? I thought that was in Helsinki. And then VD says, I thought Putin met Trump in Helsinki. Me and VD Hertz, we thought the same thing. I am skipping down a bit. I've skipped over a bunch of chats because otherwise I will be 2 hours behind. So I hope you guys don't mind. Sammy said he thought it was in Moscow. I thought it was Helsinki. Marcia says still can't tag because Chromebook is charging for talk therapy. I was already slow typing. Christina Weibel's here. Christina says today is also the 80th birthday of Social Security. Happy birthday, Social Security. I hope you will live to see 81. At this point, I don't know. WW laughing aloud. Maybe it's a trick to arrest Putin. That will be the day. I would not hold my breath on that, but that would be pretty awesome. Just slap some cuffs on that motherfucker and march his ass right down to The Hague. Christina Weibel, child rapist in the White House. Yeah. We've got a child rapist in the White House, that's for sure. Probably more than one right now, actually. Mad Max says, is it just me or is Baron creepy as fuck? I think it's not just you. I don't think it's just you. Would you guys mind if I went over to my toolbox? I think I have some zip tie thingies, and I think I need to zip tie this chair before it completely falls apart. And here's Roxanne saying, order your chair online with us, TJ. It's content. Okay, well, I might do that, but I think I'm going to do a quick fix on this chair, because what's happening is, like I showed you before, there's like this little rivet thing that just broke, and it's keeping the frame together, and now the frame is kind of just slowly sinking down. WW333 super chat, thank you. Yippee to old WW. Says, for the chair fund, I have one in bad shape too. Thank you, WW. I appreciate you. And then Marie Jane Greco, $2 super chat. Thank you, Marie. Yippee to going out to Marie Jane Greco. I appreciate you. So we got 2 out of 5 on the goal. So I think I'm gonna go to my closet over here. I have my toolbox. I think I have some little zip tie things in there. I hope they're in there. If not, I know I have them. That's the thing. I have shit, and then I can't find it. But I think I'm gonna go and do that real quick. So I'm kind of skipping down the chat here a little bit. Jolie, $10. Oh my gosh, add to the chair fund. Yippee, going out to Jolie. Thank you so much. Big Dog says, fix your chair. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go see if I can find a those zip tie things. While I'm doing that, you can watch this great video. This is what's playing right now. This is from the Ride Along Gang. Look at there. It's a trucker. He's a real trucker. This is what I used to do. I used to do that. Yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, I found some of these. I got some of these. I'm just going to put this on real quick. Let's see here. All right, let's see. Just seeing how I need to have this sort of positioned, just so as a temporary fix here. I'm going to order a chair. Now, Roxanne said I should do it, during the show. I don't know if I don't think I can really do that because I do the show on my phone, and if I did an order, I would be ordering on my phone. You know what I mean? So I don't think I can do that. Now I don't know if this is gonna. Hopefully this will hold. I got two. I put two of these zip things on here. Zip ties. We'll see how long those hold up. All right. We shall see what we shall see. I don't know if that did any good or not. I don't know. We'll see. Anyhow, you guys still there? Is everyone still here? Oh yeah. Mr. Bob Newell said, "Who's Hal Sparks? Is he any good?" And then Michelle says, "Hal's from California. He is good looking and funny." Well, actually, he is from Kentucky. Grew up in Kentucky. Then when he was in high school, sometime in high school, he moved to Chicago with his father. So he lived in Chicago for a few years. When he was 18, I believe that's when he came to California to seek fame and fortune as an actor and a comedian. And he eventually did, landing parts, a main character in Queer as Folk. I believe that was a Showtime show. Of course, he did Talk Soup, I think, or I Love the 80s or something, maybe both. And he's done several movies. He's been a very successful stand-up comedian. So, yeah, that's my little rundown on Hal Sparks there. Adam Moore says, "Please don't fall off the chair, TJ." And then Jolie's got the link for Hal Sparks on YouTube, and there's his link, Infotainment, at Infotainment. If you want to check him out more, a little bit more. WW says 3 screen names. One was my real name. One was Mr. Webb for years and years. John has that one blocked, and the other is WW. Well, I finished my coffee. Now I'm switching to water. Mad Max says, did you guys see how Gavin Newsom trolled the orange pedo rapist? Wrote in all caps, ending each text with "Thank you for your attention." Yeah, it was in the we had some of that in the intro, as a matter of fact. So we saw that. And Aaron West says, "Yeah, we saw that in the TJ's intro." WW, I use them on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which is when I'm usually here. I am Wes Webb on Saturday. It is okay for you people to know. I think we kind of figured it out, for the most part, I think. Hey, Nick Rich. Finally, Nick Rich. Like number 61. 10:49. So 11 plus 8. I think I'm 19 minutes behind in the chat. Where does the time go? Sorry I'm late, folks. Well, it's okay. Just was wondering where you were at. Big Dog says, Baron reminds me of a young lurch. And I'm just now scrolling by Jolie's $10 super chat. Thank you, Jolie. Yippee, coming out, going out to you again. To the chair fund. I'm going to order that thing today. Because I don't think this one has much. Even with the little zip ties, it feels like, doesn't feel good. Michelle's going to go listen to some music. Alrighty, Michelle, you have a good one. Music is a great thing for. I think it's very healing and healthy to listen to music that you enjoy listening to. If it's music you don't enjoy listening to, then don't listen to it. But listen to the music that you enjoy. Dan B, good old zip ties. Could be a quick little, just a temporary fix there. Yeah, Big Dog. Zip ties, duct tape, tarp, shovel, chelated lime, all the makings of a fun date. Yeah. WW, this guy's camera is a lot smoother than yours was. Yeah. Although I did eventually get mine not too bad. I did. I had shaky cam, and then I did get it to where it was pretty good. I think I got it to a pretty good shot there. WW laughing out Westy. I never watched John Wobbly camera anyway. I mostly read the chat. Big Dog. He's back. Hide the weed. Bob Perez. That's a proper T-shirt, Johnny. You have a heavenly body. Ooh, thank you. Because of NASA, WW says in trucking days, John couldn't read or type, and there were usually only a handful of us. Yeah, in the beginning, it was just 5 or 6 diehards. Now I think we got about 30 or 40 diehards, which is awesome. You guys are awesome. MJ Daniel got my chair at the state surplus a few years ago for $10, and it's still holding up. Oh, almost time for Boston Brian. It is 11 o'clock. I always wonder if I should try to end at 11 and we can do a Trucker John raid over to Boston, Brian. Even though I really haven't been on 2 hours yet. I'm at an hour and 47. Jolie says do a Trucker John raid. Yeah, so if you do go over there, guys, whoever goes over there, just do a Trucker John raid type of a deal. And then we'll be done shortly. I'm going to be probably ending in the next 10 or 12 minutes here. Jeff Hodge has said it before. I'll say it again. Woof. All right, Jeff. Thanks for the woofing. Nick Rich says 11 a.m. in Vegas. Blunt politics. That's 11:02. I'm 2 minutes behind you. So yeah, if you guys jump over there, say hi to me from Brian. I mean from John to Brian or whatever. Trucker John raid, and I'll probably be over there in a little bit to say hi to. And there's Jolie with the reminder. We got channel memberships starting off at $1.99. $1.99, and you can be a member to this beautiful thing that we call the Trucker John Livestream. And Jolie has the PayPal account if you want to help with the Trucker Fund, the Chair Fund, Trucker John Chair Fund, and all that good stuff. Jeff Hodge says, I did all for you, Damien. Oh yeah, there was a Damien reference for Baron. WW says, thanks for the reminder. I'll keep the screen open too. I don't know what that means. Anyhow, guys, I guess I should try to make a point to start earlier so that I can be done and we can all jump over to Boston Brian together. But we're almost at 2 hours, so I think I'll probably end it. I think I really feel uncomfortable in this chair. I really want to maybe turn this thing upside down and and fortify it. And I want to get on and order my other chair. I'm going to do that too. But so I guess we'll go ahead. I guess we'll call it a day, guys. Thanks for being here. Tomorrow's Friday. Regular scheduled time is 11 a.m. House Sparks is not going to be on, he said, because he's traveling, and he said he wouldn't be on for Friday. He might be on today. I'm not sure. I think he might do an afternoon show. I think he's going to be no show tomorrow. So I might come on early, but not. It might not be 9, but it might be earlier than 11. I'm thinking it might be 10, if that's okay with you guys. I might start a little earlier tomorrow. So heads up on that. Bolo, be on the lookout. Could be a weird time tomorrow. Probably not 9, but maybe earlier than 11. If that's okay with you guys. Jesse Ventura's here. Jesse says, "Hey everyone, did someone mention my name?" No, I don't think so. But Mr. Governor, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. John from Las Vegas, always nice spending time with some friends. Hey John, thanks for being here. John from Las Vegas, awesome dude. Guys, if I had the pleasure of meeting John one time, and he's an awesome dude. He gave me a really nice shoulder massage. I remember I had my shoulder was really hurting. The guy gave me a great shoulder massage, man, and he's a heck of a nice guy. So whenever you see John from Las Vegas in any chat room, make sure you say hi and give him a nice warm welcome. And I guess that's it. So yeah, programming note tomorrow. I was thinking I might come on early, but I don't know. So just bolo me or hit the notification bell or whatever. And I know my mods, heads up to you guys, I might come on at a weird time tomorrow. Just sort of fill the void of Hal not being on in the morning. But I don't know if I'm going to come on right at 9. Just depends on how late I'm up tonight and how I get up and stuff like that. All right, guys, you guys are awesome. Maybe I can take a screenshot of the chair I'm going to order, and at least I'll have that to show for tomorrow. I'll show what you guys helped me to get, not only with today's super chats, but through your memberships and through your super chats over time. You guys have all helped to get that chair, and I'll show a screenshot of it, of what I ordered, and then hopefully within the next few days it'll be delivered. They usually deliver those things pretty quickly, so might be within a few days or something. Bob Press, will you work tonight? Finally, I should. I'm not going to promise anything. I have been really late. John from Las Vegas, I'm told I have magic hands. You do, my friend. You do. But Robert, I don't know. I'm not going to make any promises because I have not felt like going out in the heat. It is a few degrees cooler today, so maybe I will. Although I should go. Last night I walked across the street. There's a used car lot across the street. And last night, after they were closed, it was night. I went for a little stroll when it was a little bit cooler. It was still over 100 degrees, but it was night, and so it didn't feel too bad. And I was looking at the cars over there, and I'm thinking I should go over there and see if I could get one of these used cars, and maybe they'll sell me one. And as long as I can find something that's reliable and it won't leave me stranded on the side of the road, and then I'm sure I will go to work more often, because I just really hate taking a 2-hour bus ride. I just hate doing it, and where you have to transfer a couple times, and you got to stand out in the 110-degree heat. That's why I haven't been going to work, or I take an Uber, and when I do that, then that kind of defeats the purpose of going to work, because that takes a lot of my tip money. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So anyhow, that's why I haven't been going to work. Jesse Ventura, I subbed again. Thank you, Jesse Ventura. Thanks for subbing. I appreciate it. We're going to get to 4,000 before you know it. I'll be eating a dandelion before you know it. Marie Jane Greco, love Trucker John, and this chat always makes me smile. Thank you. Well, we love you, Marie. Thank you for being here. Thanks for helping make this chat as good as it is. It's people like you, Marie, that do that. So thanks for being there. Mrs. Flock, enough of that guy laughing out loud, Nick Rich. I did watch, for those of you, Nick Rich has a channel on YouTube. He's got some cool videos. I watched a couple of them last night of him on his scooter around town there, riding a scooter, trying to avoid those bumps. A couple of those bumps looked like it almost took you out, Nick. So be careful of the bumps on there. And then the one of you on the train or whatever, it was kind of funny, your interaction with this guy who was, I don't even know what he was. Was he a QAnon or whatever the fuck he was? I don't know. Was he a MAGA? But that was hilarious. And I thought that was, I wrote in there, best video ever, because it was so funny and it was great. So yeah, Nick Rich has got a channel here on YouTube. Got some great videos, so you want to check that out at your leisure. And Bob Perez, quite the predicament. Yeah, it's kind of like, I know I should be going to work and making some money, but I'm kind of like, I don't feel like sitting out in the heat because I'm just old and lazy, I guess. La-ti-da, la-ti-da, la-ti-da. So, yeah, I'll get it figured out, though. I'll figure it out at some point. All right, guys. I don't know why I'm doing this all of a sudden. Thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. Awesome group. Maria's right. You guys are awesome. Got an awesome chat room. I enjoy doing this. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it. And I enjoy it because of you guys. You guys make it fun. There's the link. Thank you, Jolie. To Nick Rich, 56 Nick Rich. There's the link to his channel. Give him a sub. Watch his videos. They're very entertaining. And I hope Nick puts out some more of those. Danby, have a great day. You have a great day, too. No, you have a great day. You have a great day. I'm going to pound that shit home, man. And I'm going to try to fortify this chair a little more. And I'm going to order the new one. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Sometime between 9 and 11 we'll be starting tomorrow. I don't know. If I should just stick to 11 or just come on early, I don't know. So be on the lookout. Bolo, be on the lookout. And we'll see you there. John from Las Vegas says, in, guys. I'm not sure what that means. Like night or something? I don't know. Anyhow, all right, guys. I guess that's it for today. The only thing left we have to do is a Words of Wisdom segment. The Words of Wisdom. This is a segment. An actual segment. Words of Wisdom segment. So, guys, make sure you get paper and pad to write this down because you don't want to miss this. This is something you could put together and put a book together on it. So here we go. Here's for today's Words of Wisdom. They go a little something like this, okay?
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes. Might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes. But if we did, I'd be only too glad. So I style of Easter, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John Livestream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John Livestream. Yeah, the Trucker John Livestream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John Livestream. No, it's time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again.
Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep. Broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food, the movies and bugs. Shining a light on all the social issues. No shrugs, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright. But now I'm living in a different kind of fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. In my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. So you wanna take a trip down Paradise Road, but it ain't that pretty, it ain't paved with gold. Everybody's got the dirty little secrets, everybody's got some things unknown. But if you ain't real careful, baby, it'll cut you down to the bone. Under all those bright lights, you've gotta learn to ignore the glitter. It's all about fight or flight, and you don't wanna do either. So go on down to Paradise Road, it'll make you wish that you were young. But all it'll do is make you feel old and regret trading in your love for lust. It's all just a big charade, it's all just one big game, and it ain't about love. It's all about the thrills, it's about staying in the hunt, it's about going in for the kill. So head on down to Paradise Road, that's where your friends are now. They're the people that nobody knows. So go ahead and make your big show. So live it up on Paradise Road, just don't let anyone know. It'll be your dirty little secret, it'll be your guilty little pleasure. Living a secret that the whole world sees, hiding in plain sight among the scum and the thieves. It's so damn hard to ever be pleased. Everybody wants a piece of paradise. But where would you run? Where would you hide? What would you do to buy a little more time? Grandiose dreams of happily ever after are really just another day's end. And when the sun goes down, you just lay there wondering, can you really do it all again? You're praying for one last shot. You're hoping for one last big win. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along.